Welcome along to One Hub Racing Season 27, the first stream of Season 27, and it is the day that 60 drivers have been waiting for. It is, of course, tier announcement night where 60 drivers will find out what tier they'll be racing in for the upcoming season. Hopefully you're all excited as we are in the chat. My name is Jess Ball, and joining me in at the commentary box, it is the goat who loves Nigel Mansell. It is everyone's favourite Welshman. It is Colin Mason. Colin, how you doing?
Evening all. Don't let my Q say that. There'll be uproar. Evening everyone. Evening Jess. Well, here we go then. We are here for our tier announcements. So we've had 2 tiers the last couple of years, but with the improvement of F125, which I think we all agree is a really, really good game, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's one of the best games we've had for many, many years. And we have 3 tiers, Jess.
Yes, 3 tiers for the upcoming season. And honestly, I couldn't be more thrilled. A lot more drivers, I think, were very interested in racing for season 27. And it shows. And we did a new format this season for placing our drivers, and it was qualifying week. And for those of you that are unaware of what we did for qualifying week, every driver that signed up for season 27 has to set a time trial lap around the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia. It took place the entire week, which meant that they could do it at any time of their choosing. They didn't have to worry about doing a session from us, which meant that it was more flexible for them. They could do as many laps as they want, and we saw many drivers improve. And we also saw many drivers improve on the last day, which is where this leaderboard came in. Callum got the fastest time in the end with a 1:11.851 and was the fastest time on qualifying night. Will that translate to if he's going to do well this season? We don't know. But some very close times this season, Carl.
It's really, really close. You can see there, looking at the top 10, just a couple of tenths separating those top 10 drivers. Ridiculously close. And when you get pace that close, it comes down to how good are your tactics? How good are you going through traffic? What's your strategy like? How many mistakes don't you make? And it's going to be so exciting and so close looking at those times for the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, that makes P1 especially, I think it's going to be very, very good this season. Kind of gave a little bit of a spoiler. So some of the drivers are going to be in P1, but it was obvious with the timings that they were posting. I think it was about 2 or 3 tenths separating the top 10, which is incredible. I will go through more information about that soon, but one thing to note before we start the 2 announcements, you do see one name in there that did do a lap for qualifying week. That was Entity. Unfortunately, though, yesterday he told us Kona owners, unfortunately, he's unable to take part this season, which I honestly am gutted because Entity joined at the beginning of F1 24. He was going to be in a lower tier. We saw in pre-season how quick he was, so we moved him up to the top tier. And he's done that for the last 2 seasons, and he was incredible, and he's improved every season. So, shame to see him not racing in season 27, Cole, but honestly, he's been a testament to the league, and he will be missed. But yeah, that is the reason why if you don't see Entity's name, then that's why. But I'm gutted as much as you are, Cole.
Yeah, I'm really gutted. Entity's a really nice guy as well. Every conversation I've had with him, he's always been really respectful. In the stewards as well. If he's ever been in there. But yeah, it's a real shame not to have him in the tier. But hopefully, maybe for the following season, his schedule might enable him to get in.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Of course, it was due to his work commitment, and of course, nothing can't be helped. So I know Entity will be watching some of the streams anyway, and he'll still take part in the 5 lappers, which our lovely Sully, who's our new management member, is doing after the stream around about 7 or 8 o'clock. So make sure you follow our partners at Vespertine Gaming on Twitch, and there's open lobbies later on. So get involved, that will be amazing. Right. It's been 7 minutes, Carl. I know people are probably wondering, where am I placed? Where am I placed? Shall we get cracking with the tiers then, Carl?
Let's rock and roll.
Right, so we got 3 tiers this season, and the times are going to be a little bit different, mainly to allow pretty much every single one of us to watch every single tier, and to allow possibly drivers that can't commentate due to tier clashes, commentate as well. So we've got P3 tier, which is the bottom tier. That's going to be starting at 4:30. P2, that's going to be starting at 6 o'clock. And P1, that's going to be starting at 7:30. So those are going to be the times. The streams will be planning to start, well, P2 and P1 especially, will be starting probably mid-qualifying if the commentators that are either racing in either one of the tiers before or after will get a chance to have a bit of a break, if that makes sense. So there we go. So I believe I'm trying to remember whose turn it was to do which tier. I believe it's me that's going to announce P3. So I'm going to get a little bit of the suspense. I'm going to ask the chat, Cole, who is ready to announce the first tier of the evening? Who's ready? I'm not going to reveal it until everyone in the chat is hyped for this. Come on. I'm going to get a bit of a drum roll as well going. Who is ready to announce the P3 tier, which is our lowest tier, 4:30 p.m. UK time. Commentators to be confirmed. Yeah, looks like everyone's ready. So we are going to go. So in 3, 2, 1. So there are 20 drivers. I will reveal them from top to bottom in no particular order. We've got Jamie Met 92. We got JR Mason. We got Truth 9665. We got Text B1. Apologies if I say your name's wrong, by the way. There's a lot of new drivers in this tier, which I'm really delighted for. We have Hockey Nye. We have Trash Panda. We have Jack Craig. We have ORU Jacob. We have Corby. We have Riley Gautier. I'll just say Riley. And we got Daniel Villa at R69. We got the Furious Formula. We got Lethal Force Man. We got King Vegeta. Again, sorry, I apologize if we get your names wrong. We got Dr. Mew. We got Jason Blue. We got King the Jam, Moise, Burjax, and we got Matthias. So that is your lineup for season 27 for the P3 tier. Cole, what do you think? As this could be the tier you might be commentating on this season.
Yeah, do you know what? This tier is really, really interesting because there's a lot of drivers there who are new to our league. So we don't know what to expect from them. We don't know what their strategies like, their race pace. It's so interesting going into this tier. It's going to be. I really do think, and I hope as well, that Matthias has a good season because I think he could be really strong here. Jamie, I can see being really strong. Mason, the old man, I can see him being strong. You know, if he can improve his race pace a little bit, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in there. Truth, I'm sure Truth's a returning driver. Jess, I'm sure he's been with us before.
Yeah, Truth is a returning driver. Oh my God, I'm so excited that he's back. Like, he's done quite a few seasons. He's done so well. I think, Colin, I'm going to keep my eye on him this season as well as one of our drivers to watch out for. He's, I think, suited, well, to like games like F123, which was his last one, so I'm excited. And there's one driver that I've raced with quite a few for one season in another league, and he seems to be doing well in the league I'm commentating on at the moment. Jack Craig, welcome back to One Up, another returning driver. I think his last race with us was on F1 2019. So we got some new drivers, Cole, but a lot of returning faces as well, which is good, which strongly suggests that F1 25 is a step in the right direction.
100%. And answering King the Jam's question, are these tiers lined up based on our qualifying laps? Not only the qualifying laps, we do look at past performances of drivers that we know. We look at what leagues they're in currently racing on F1 25 as well. So
and last season as well.
And last season as well. So even though TT for us is a big gauge, it's not the only gauge that we use to try and balance the tiers as best we can.
Yeah, because even though there might be drivers that are not racing our leagues, quite a lot of the admins have a little bit of an inkling based on other leagues on how they do as well. So, yeah, I forgot to mention that, actually. And we had it in the running order as well. Go through on how the tiers had been decided. But there we go. But there were quite a few tough decisions we had to make, didn't we? I think there were certain drivers in this tier that could be P2, easy. And the other way around, there's some drivers that we're going to announce later that are in P2 currently that could be in P3 and not dominate. So it was a tough call, I think, between those two tiers, but we will explain why a little bit later. But I'm going to ask this question for every tier, but I know it's going to be tough. Who do you think, Cole, is going to be the P3 Drivers' Champion?
Oh, my word. What a question that is. Sod it. Dad. Mason. JR Mason 54. They are. Jinxed you now, Dad. There you go. We've got the jinx out the way.
I think... I'm thinking Matthias, but he always seems to make mistakes in some of the races, but I hope he's ironed out that. I was going to go to your dad, but I'm going to go somewhere different. I'm going to go Jamie. There you go. He's going to be a 2-time champion. That's my prediction because I want to go for something different. So there we go.
The thing is with Jamie is such a clever driver. He knows when to push, when not to push. You will rarely see Jamie make a massive mistake. It is so rare. And that's going to be, and this is throughout all the tiers, not just P3. I've said it before. Champions are made by the least mistakes they make.
Consistency. That's how Jamie won it in season 21.
All about consistency.
Yeah, that's how he won it in season 21.
Exactly that. Look at Wapping Proverb a couple of years ago in, I think it was P3. He won the championship. He never won a race.
Yeah.
He had his first victory in One Hub last season.
Oh,
But he
my
was a
goodness.
world champion for us, and and that just shows consistency is far more important when it comes to championships than outright results.
I think everyone. I wanted that win so bad in the feature race, but to be honest, if there was someone that should win that I wanted to win on that night, it was Robin Probab. I was so thrilled for him. He got the strategy right, and he had the really good pace, so I was very pleased with him. So we've gone up through our predictions for who we think is going to do well in this tier. We're now going to change up a little bit. We're not going to reveal P2 yet. We're going to be revealing P1, the top tier, which is going to be at 7:30 UK time. And this is going to be the sweats. The pinnacle of One Hub racing. I think it's going to be the closest P1 tier that we ever had, in my personal opinion, based on the leaderboard. And Colin's going to go through the first 10 drivers, and I'm going to go through the next 10 drivers. So I'm going to do a countdown. Is everybody ready to announce who's going to be in a P1 tier for this season? Are you ready, Cole?
I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1, Cole, hit it.
So here we go then. So we have Canarmed, Marco, J. Cole, Casper, Robite, Ben Mills, Colin R. Mason, never heard of him, Ricardo, Keys, and Axlock. And those are the 10. Jess, do you want to do the rest?
Yes, indeed. So from 11 to 20, we've got TGV_1234. We have a returning driver of Owen Wyatt. We have Nick. I've never heard of him. Cole, have you heard of him? He's a sweat that likes Lewis Hamilton.
Ring a bell.
We have Alexa 8861. We have ERT Palsy. We have Catherine. We have Camille Costra. Again, apologies, we have say this wrong. We have a returning face, which I'm so happy that he's in the league now again. We have Chris. Brilliant. We have I don't know who he is. Lukey 00000. I've never heard of him. And we got Furious. What a tier, Cole. Tell us your thoughts.
Well, I will say one thing actually, that the driver that impressed me most out of the qualifying night, so we had just over 60 time trials submitted, but the driver that impressed me the most with their lap time was Catherine.
Same.
Absolute blinder of a lap. Catherine, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you set that lap time without line as well, which is even more special. Absolutely brilliant. She's going to cause havoc in a good way.
Yeah,
in that
it was
tier.
no line. It was no line.
I genuinely think she's going to surprise a lot of people in that tier.
So
it's going to be a fascinating... I can't call that one.
Yeah.
The tier's too close. I can't call it.
I'm really excited. Honestly, I'm so delighted that Catherine's in P1 because it's nice to see. We did have a female in P1 before, but she only lasted 2 races. But I really hope that Catherine sticks out for the entirety of the season to show that females can do it in a top tier. So I really do hope it as well.
Yep.
But speaking of other drivers, I have to say, honestly, I'm relieved that Chris is back. I'm so delighted. He was keen to get on the game for a long time, and when he realised how F1 25 was, brilliant. Lukey is saying that he's slow. Lukey, go away. You are you have great race pace, so we'll see what you could do there. Owen Wyatt, I'm so glad that he's back. Of course, for those of you that don't know Owen, he is a top-notch commentator. He's a really great commentator, and he commentates for an Orange League that I'm not going to say, but they're launching their new season very soon as well, which they're going to be on F1 25. But yeah, excited to see him up there at Sock again. A certain Colin Welshman. I wonder how he's going to do. I think he's going to do well, I guess. And there's one driver that was so close to winning the P1 title at the end of F123, Ben Mills. I'm so excited that he's back. Was so close to winning the title. I think it was the last season on F123. I'm just chuffed that he gets another go at One Hub Racing. It's tough. It's tough to call, but I'm keeping my eye on Ben Mills this season. I'm so glad he's back.
Yeah, great to have him back, and I can't wait to share the track with Chris again. Chuffed, so pleased he's back. Such a nice bloke. He is a little bit rusty, but count him out at your peril, because the guy can race, and he's very quick. He did a blinder of a move on me, make me look like a right drip in one race. He's a very, very difficult driver to overtake as well. He is going to be up there. It might take him a couple of races to get into the swing of it, because he is going to be cold into it. But he's going to... I wouldn't be surprised if he'll get quite a few podiums.
I'm also keeping my eye on Palsy as well. Of course, he's ERT driver, just like you are. And
yes.
Like, I would expect an ERT driver to do well anyway, so keeping my eye on him. I want to see how the new drivers do, like Camille. And I know Roadbite is being very quick on this game, so I expect him to do well as well. Ricardo improved quite a bit towards the end of the last season, and I hope to see him do well here as well. But let's get our predictions in. I know what I'm going to go first this time, because you went first this time, and I know you're probably going to pick the same as me. My call for champion, based on what I've seen in the GOAT Championship and the Reverse Championship, is Callum. Without a shadow of a doubt, Callum, I think, is going to be the P1 Drivers' Title Championship. What do you think?
Now, we know that Cal's got to miss a race or two.
Oh, yes, he's missing like 3 races or something. I'm still going to stick with it. Yeah, no.
He's going to have to
dominate.
Perform pretty much dominate the races that he is able to turn up in. So I think even for a driver as good and as consistent as Canarmed, I think that's going to be a stretch too far. So my top 3, I think J. Cole's going to be up there, without a shadow of a doubt. Marco will be up there. Ben Mills, without a doubt, is going to be up there. So it's going to be so close, that tier. It's going to be crazy. I mean, I could see if you make an error in qualifying and you think, oh, I could have gone 2 tenths quicker there. That could be the difference between the front row and 14th. It's going to be that close. It really is. We're going to be looking for, you're not looking for tenths. You're going to be looking for hundredths, I think.
I know. It's going to be insane. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll get the predictions in the chat. Wade thinks Callum is going to be champion. J. Cole said it's going to be a spicy season. I agree with that one. Mikey and Vespertine are thinking that Cole will be, as in Colin, will be champion at P1. Which
whatever you're smoking, I'll have some.
So there we go. So thank you for getting involved as well. Let us know in the chat on what you think of your placements, if you have already. And we're moving on to the final tier. Now, we had about 70 drivers sign up, so not everyone has been placed in season 27. But whoever, pretty much every single driver that set a lap and that has paid, well, most drivers that set a lap and has paid has been placed. If you've not set a lap, you've not been placed, and you've been put on the wait list. That's if you haven't paid, you're on the wait list. Simple as. But so P2 tier, we'll move on to now. If you already paid and you've done your lap, you probably can guess what tier you're going to be in. So it's going to be like a, but I know there's some people that don't know who the drivers are going to be the tier. 6 p.m. UK time on a Sunday, straight after P3 tier. And from what I've seen in the chat, we've got some good feelings about this tier. But, Cole, take it away. Who's our final 20 drivers that are going to be racing in One Hub, but in the P2 tier?
So here we go then. Here, confirmed lineup for the P2 season. We have Rich, Sallow, Moqui, Larkin, Moogs, Welsh Benjamin, Papa Squanch, Joe, Farjed, sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, Lawrence, Sheckwace, Mikey, Ivor Bryn Mike, Futile, Gazaman, Richelieu, Whopping Proverb, Vittenhouse, Jess, no, don't remember, and Sir Quinn. So those are our 20 drivers for our P2 season, and don't even ask me how to call that one.
I honestly don't know either. I mean, this is probably... I'm so glad we got 3 tiers because the last few seasons, there were quite a few people that was like 1.5, if that makes sense, or like was so like they could have been like challenging for quite a few things as well. But this tier is very, very good. Of course, Rich 500, want to keep an eye on, just missed out on the P3 championship. I'm excited to see how he does. Could he go for redemption and challenge for the title? We have to wait and see. Papa Scrunch, the form that he had last season, Cole, towards the end was absolutely fantastic. And that's what helped him get P3 in the title, and it was well deserved. So for him to be in P2, it's going to be amazing. I think the battle between him and Joe is going to be insane because those two were fighting for P3 in the title at the end of last season.
Yeah, this is a mad tier. I mean, I'm looking at that tier now. I'm going, yeah, that can, yeah, ring race, yeah. Oh, that's 20 drivers. It's gonna be nuts. I can't wait. But if you had to force me into picking a driver, I'm gonna go for Sallow.
There's quite a lot of people in the chat that are thinking the same thing, actually, for Sallow. I've got 3 drivers in mind. I think Sallow, Rich, or Larkin. Those are my 3.
Yeah. I mean, you can't... Ruling out Larkin, that was wildly stupid.
You can't predict. You can't predict.
It's too hard, isn't it?
And also, Lawrence, who is going to be racing with us again this season. Let's touch back some of our returning drivers, actually. Lawrence, who was our trying to remember how many tiers we had in season in F1 23. Was it 3 or 2? He was our bottom tier champion for season 24, I think it was. He was on pad. Now he's going to race on a wheel, which I have to say is very brave. But he's had experience. He's raced in many leagues at the end of last F1 24, so I can't wait to see what he could do there as well. Nice to see Wade's back. Rydog as well, he hasn't raced a while this season. Martino joined at the end of last season. Very impressive at the start of F1 25. It's very good. But one thing I'm excited to see, Cole, Gatherman is back.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. It's quite funny when I was looking at the list and I had a little smirk on when I saw Gazaman's name back in a One Hub driver lineup. Absolutely awesome to have him back. And I know you're here, Jess, but I'm going to talk about you anyway. I think the chat would agree. What a performance for Jess to get herself out of a bottom tier and
for the first time.
For the first time into P2. Absolutely brilliant performance in time trial. And Jess, it's not your favourite track.
No, it wasn't. And up until Sunday evening, my time was P3 tier. My time was P2. I was trying to get into the 130 13 zeros for a long time. And I was just like, after the GOAT Championship, I was like, right, let's sweat some time trial. Did 50 laps, couldn't come close. Did a few more laps, I was like, 13 zeros. I was like, what? And then I found a few more Hummers after that. To be fair, I'm going to get bragging rights. I was the last person to set a lap in qualifying week. There we go. I was the last lap to be set in qualifying week. There we go. But yeah.
And one thing that I've noticed, I've only just twigged this actually, is we have a Welsh driver, at least one, in each tier. So we have Mason in P3. Yeah, we got Welsh Benjamin. We got Sheck Wace. We got Iverbring Mike. And, of course, myself and Canarmed in P1. So, sod it. A Welsh streak. A Welsh driver wins each tier. What about that for a prediction?
Honestly, like, there's certain people that haven't been not in the bottom tier before, and that's going to be exciting. And Proverb, I'm excited to see how he does in the middle tier as well.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good. Mikey, now I know this stream's been going on for a long time. I do apologise, but let's talk about him. Colin, this was a man that you found online, and you had a very great battle with him. He also took part in the reverse championship, and each race he did, he improved massively. I was in a VC with him in Zandvoort. I was fighting with him, made a few mistakes here and there, but at Austria, he was fantastic. He was fighting with Gaza, who was in the tier. He was fighting with a lot of drivers that are in this tier as well, and he could be very, very competitive. I'm excited to see what Mikey could do, because from my first impressions, from what I've seen in the reverse championship, he's going to do well. I'm calling it.
He's going to do tremendous. I mean, everyone in the chat, you've experienced it. You go on ranked online and you try overtaking a guy, and next minute you're in a wall. Someone does their best impression of a bumper car driver. And I was coming behind Mikey and went to have a go and expecting to get wiped out. And I didn't. And the guy left plenty of room, hard but fair. And then we did another couple of races and we were racing together and there was not even contact. And I thought, this guy knows how to race. And he showed it in the reverse championship. You know, what you got to remember is he's really inexperienced. This is his first ever league racing season.
And he did so well. He did so well in Austria, especially.
He's going to be a force in that tier. He's going to have a lot of fun in there. He's also going to learn a lot from the guys around him as well. But I have a sneaky suspicion that my mate Iverbring Mike is going to get a top 3 in the championship.
I want that to happen. I want that to happen. I mean, I've been fighting with him in co-op career mode, and we've been rival with that ever since. I'm excited to race with Mike in the same tier. That's going to be amazing. Aren't we going to count with our co-op career mode? It's crazy, but there we go. So that was our predictions and announcements for all 3 tiers. And if you are watching the stream at the moment and thinking, hey, my name is not on there, one of our owners, Nick, will be contacting you after the stream if you signed up with reasons why you haven't been placed. Majority of them is because you haven't paid, and majority of them, some of them is because you haven't done a lap. So it's one of the two.
Yeah.
So it's either because you haven't paid or haven't set a lap. There's, I think, 1 or 2 drivers that they have paid and set a lap, but they signed up too late. So, yes, Nick will contact you tonight. You'll be put on the wait list. And if someone drops out, you'll be one of the first people to be placed and put in a tier. But if we can't place you, we'll refund your money if you paid. So simple as that. So there we go. But there's quite a few questions in the chat on the next stages. Now, we'll look through the pre-season calendar. So sign up, done. Qualifying week, done. Tier announcements, done. What's going to happen at 9 o'clock tonight? Team contracts. So team contract is a thing that we've done at One Hub Racing for quite a long time. And this is where everybody applies for a team. But not everybody applies for a team. So basically, if you've got a teammate that you really want to be with, one person in your lineup applies for that team. But if both of you have raced at One Hub before, look at the league database. That's step 1. The one with the highest stats, that is the one that applies for that team. later on, a post is going to be posted for the drivers that raced last season. If you want to apply for a specific team, but that team you raced in last season, you didn't meet the criteria, you can't apply for a contract unless your teammate does for you. So that's something to bear in mind. Then once you've figured out what team you're going to apply for and who's applying based on the stats, then you go apply for a team, create a ticket when it opens at 9 o'clock on Discord. Then once that happens, you're going to have to wait a little bit. Our amazing head of teams, Jamie, will be going through all the contracts, which does take a while, but to be fair, Carl, he does a great job. So once he's done that, 10 drivers from each tier will be assigned a team. Then once that happens, a response will be made, and then it's the one who got a contract responsibility to get a teammate. If by Sunday a teammate hasn't been agreed, then the head of teams will place a teammate for you. If you haven't got a teammate but want to apply for a team, get a ticket anyway. Colin, from experience, what is your advice for new drivers, especially when they apply for a team?
You basically what you said is if you do have a teammate in mind that you want to partner with, take a look at the stats, see who's got the better stats, and make sure that is the driver that applies for the teams, because they've got a better chance then of getting that team then. But obviously, if you want the likes of a Ferrari or McLaren or Red Bull, you're going to have very, very good stats. Whereas if you want to be in a Haas, for example, or the Kick Sauber, your stats don't need to be as good to get into those teams. So just keep an open mind, and you can apply for as many teams as you want. You don't need to just apply for one. You can. My advice is apply in preference order. So let's say you've got 3 teams, pick Ferrari, and if you don't want Ferrari, you'll have McLaren, and if you don't want McLaren, you'll have Williams, for example. So that's probably the best advice that I can give. But enjoy the process. It's so different to how any other league does it. So enjoy it, and obviously Jamie will be contacting you quite soon, I would have thought, Jess. Because when are the team announcements made?
I'll get the calendar for you at 1st of August. So Jamie will set a deadline for you to get your contract by, and this is what you'll have to do it by as well. So that gives drivers enough time to think about what teammate they want to do, because there'll be some drivers that think they were going to get like a lower tier, for example, or a higher tier, but they're in a tier that they weren't expecting. So they may have to go back to the drawing board and think about what teammate they want to go for it, or something like that. So yeah, you got until the 1st of August to get your contract. If you don't have a teammate and you apply for a team and you don't mind which teammate you go for, just say in the ticket, I don't mind what teammate. If it gets to Sunday, you don't mind what teammate. Just say, I don't mind, pick for me. But we don't recommend it, because you may have a teammate that you don't necessarily get along with, and you may not do well in the constructors, because that will reflect on the criteria. And I'll look at the criteria will be posted on the Discord anyway. You probably could barely read this, but you can look at the team history. So the criteria to drive for the top 4 teams, so that's McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. We moved it about a bit, thanks to Jamie. So if you race with us, this is what you would have needed to have achieved. At least 1 win in your one-up career, at least 3 podiums, at least 1 pole position, at least 10 finishes, at least 6 point finishes, at least 2 driver of the days, and completed at least 1 season in one hub. And you'll need at least 4 of those. But if you're a newbie, that doesn't stop you from applying for that team. If no one applies for that team and you apply for it, then you'll get that team. Simple as. We've seen many situations where we've seen that, haven't we, Carl?
Oh, yes. One thing I'd like to do while I sit my head, because I'm getting old, I forget things. Can we have a little bit of appreciation in the chat for Lukey? Because I think we can all agree that these images are world class. And I know Lukey spends a lot of time and effort creating these images and all the little videos and GIFs that are made as well, because they are brilliant. I think you'd all agree.
Honestly, when he showed me, it's so good. So give a W in the chat for Lukey. He is a king. He's a goat, as everyone is saying in the chat. So it's amazing. I know a lot of you would want to go and have dinner. So let's go through the middle contracts quickly. So that is Aston Martin, Racing Bulls, and I think it's Williams. Yeah, Williams. So Williams got moved up, which I'm very happy with. So we'll go through the criteria on when he needs to finish afterwards, because we haven't got time. But criteria to drive in this team: 4 out of the 8, at least 3 finishes, at least 1 points finish, at least 1 drive of the day, 1 season in 1Hub, finish in the top 14, follow 1Hub on Twitter, follow 1Hub on Twitch, follow 1Hub on TikTok. That's easy. Then we've got the bottom tier, which is the bottom lot. No, not the bottom tier. Bottom teams. Bottom teams. Sorry. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Bottom teams. So that's Alpine, Haas, and Kicksauber. So basically, just follow us on social media. That's all you need to do. If you want to be in any of those 3 teams, follow us on social media. But if more than one person picks a bottom team, for example, it's the one with the highest stats. But if all rookies apply for that team and no other people from 1Hub, then it's usually the one that applies first. So you've got to be quick, Cole.
Yes, the admin team rejected my criteria for one of the top teams, which is you had to be a Nigel Mansell fan. Don't know why that was rejected, but never mind.
I wonder which teammate you're going to go with. I wonder as well. But yes. So hopefully that's asked you any questions. We'll post a tutorial video at some point. Nick's going to be posting lots of good things over the next few days. You'll find out who your tier coordinator is. You'll probably be wondering, Jess, who the commentators are. We're going to be sorting out the commentators over the next week or 2. If you are watching and would like to be a commentator, please get in touch with me. That will be amazing. We are looking commentators for our middle tier in particular. So please get in contact if you are interested in commentating. And don't forget, we got the pre-season race at the Hungaroring. Before we go through the sponsors, any final thoughts, Cole, for what we're looking forward to on season 27?
I just can't wait, because there's a lot of returning drivers as well. Gazzaman, Chris, myself. I haven't raced in 1Hub since October last year. September last year. So that seems quite a while away. But I just can't wait to get going now. And of course, we have a pre-season race. So just to let you know, there will be no stewarding for that particular race. But same normal 1Hub rules apply. So just be your normal, respectful selves on track. And it should give the new drivers as well a little bit of a taster to what to expect the following week.
Yes, pre-season race will be happening at the Hungaroring, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. And I did see some cheeky people apply for teams. It's not open yet, you keen buggers. It will be open at 9 o'clock. Anyone that creates a ticket before 9 o'clock, we will close it. So I know Nick's going to try his best to hide it, but yeah, 9 o'clock UK time, PM, we'll open the tickets, but no one applied for a team before then. Thank you. There we go. So before we go, quick mention of our sponsors. So Next Level Racing, they're providing some great prizes this season. More information on our socials for that, because we've got some great ones coming up. Pure Sim Gear, they're providing global socks to the driver with the most poles and fastest laps. And there's also a discount code to use OHR10P to get 10% off Pure Sim Gear products. So make sure you use that. And Cole could back me up on this, and I can also vouch for this sponsor. Our newest sponsor to the season, Sim Racing Setups, where you can get setups for F125 for a discount. If you use the code 1Hub Racing on simracingsetup.com, you can get 5% off. And there's also an introductory offer going on at the moment. So if you're looking for setups for F125, that's the way to go.
Honestly, I've used them. they're fantastic. They're really they help me no end. So I did a league race earlier last week, and it allowed me then, rather than spending days trying to get a decent setup, I could then focus on, right, what's the right strategy? Let's just get this track nailed, getting these setups sorted, and they are brilliant. So, and they have qualifying setups, race setups, intermediate setups, and wet weather setups as well.
And strategies.
And strategies as well. So it really is the whole package. So I would really recommend people popping over to simracingsetup.com and having a look, because I genuinely believe drivers are going to be gaining time by using these setups. And we can all see the tiers. We know how close it is. So if you can gain a 10th or two, that's going to be big.
Yeah, so use the code OneHubRacing on simracingsetup.com. That'll be great. It will help you, and it'll also help us as a league as well. Massive shout out to Rich from Sim Racing Setups. It's not the same Rich in One Hub, but it's a different Rich. There's loads of Riches, okay? But thank you so much to Rich. We're going to use a lot. We're going to be promoting them a lot more, especially with the pre-race show, with the hot laps as well. So, and yeah, it's going to be good. We also got our partners now, Vespertine. They're in the chat. Massive shout out to Solo for being the main person that sorted out all the payments this season for season 27. I don't know how you done it. Who's created loads of bundles and everything. So thank you very much to him. There's lots of merch on there, and they're providing lots of prizes for us this season. So give a massive shout out to Solo in the chat for sorting out the payments this season and making sure every single driver who's signed up this season who's racing this season is paid. So without Solo, the payments wouldn't happen. So thank you very much to him. And finally, to our partners at SimGrid. Without SimGrid, we'll be using Google Forms and spreadsheets for everyone to sign up, and it'll just be an absolute nightmare. So for myself, Jess Ball, and from Colin Mason, thank you so much for watching. We will see you. Well, good luck to everyone that's racing with us for season 27, and especially for the pre-season race. But our first stream for season 27 will be in Silverstone on the 10th of August. Make sure you join us for the first stream, 4:30 on the 10th of August with the P3 tier. Take care, everyone. From myself and Cole, have a good evening. And join Solo for open lobbies later at 8 p.m. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.